This is Rise Together News. I want to bring home and ground the things I've been talking about here with all this creation stuff. And I'll ask you to keep my last several posts in mind as you think about what I'm going to say here. Humanity has a tendency to depend on unembodied beings to bail them out of all their troubles. If you don't believe me, just tune into a few alternative media outlets. It's hard to find one where someone isn't either praying, channeling, or using meditation techniques to access intel or to summon assistance. Either in a religious context or a New Age context, or some just do it because they heard somebody else doing it. I see that a lot, too. The people want invisible beings to do things for them. People ask invisible beings to do things for them that they could do for themselves. And this dependency generalizes to a dependency on authorities or rulers, to the point where people deem other people awake if they agree with their favorite political figure. In other words, you're awake if you're for my guy. If you want my guy to be the president, then you're awake. So we can't even use the term awake anymore because it's been redefined. It doesn't mean what it meant 15 years ago. I've been demonstrating to you through these posts that the authority or authorities you pray to are not your friends. If it's a ghost, it's not your friend. If it has no body in this material realm, or cannot show you its body in this material realm for some reason, it's not your friend. Unembodied beings who would be considered friendly want you to be responsible for yourself and are extremely put off by your persistent display of helplessness and gullibility. Bottom line, you have got to learn to think. Think. If your favorite government person doesn't have the same physical features they had 10 years ago, what does that tell you? If you can see that, then everybody in government knows that. And it means they're all lying or fake. And if everybody in government is lying or fake, what does that tell you? Oh, that the military's in charge? You think the military's in charge? Well, okay. Let's talk about that. If what Derek Johnson and Jan Halpern Hayes are telling you about the military is true, and they're both saying the military's in charge, and they both have very valid reasons for saying that, by the way, but if it's true that the military is in charge, then what does that tell you? Because they can't produce the results you need. You need justice. And they can't show you what they're doing about that. Yeah, they've done things, but they can't show you what they've done. You need to see, and they can't show you. What does that tell you? Jan Halpern Hayes says 66% of the people are awake and that that's enough, and that what we're waiting for is for those operating in the background to accomplish certain things that have to happen first. That's what she says. And she's right. But she doesn't seem to know what those certain things are. And that's what I'm going to tell you now. Those people in the background are trying to teach you to think. They're using media of all kinds to teach you to think. Because the operation is you. And if you've developed your ability to think logically, then you already know where I'm going with this. You know the key that turns the lock. The military can't do what needs to be done, because if they did, they'd be violating their oath and they could be tried for treason. This whole thing with Trump being indicted and standing trial shows you what would happen if someone under oath did something that even appeared to the public as though they were violating their oath. So their hands are tied. The people have to initiate justice. You have to implement natural law as codified in the Court of Ages Law of the Land Handbook. They know it and can't tell you. That's the key sentence in this whole post. You have to implement natural law as codified in the Court of Ages Law of the Land Handbook, and do so in the exact manner in which I've told you to do it. Stop calling in unembodied beings who want nothing more than to come into your realm and eat your heart out. Because when you call on them, you're giving them permission to do just that. The good entities know you have natural law. They know you have the Court of Ages Law of the Land Handbook. They know the path forward has been laid out for you by me, and you're simply refusing to implement it in the manner I have suggested. You are the ones who can bring clarity to all the chaos around you, and you must. That's all for now. I'm Cindy K. Currier. I'll see you next time.